Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it. Alright, let me just walk you through it. You're gonna hit the switch on the outside to open the door, then hit the same switch and walk through the door before it closes. You'll see a second switch on the inside, which will open the second door. Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot. So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room. How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Oh, we're back here.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Okay. The great and lovely descent. Hey, how's it going?
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
He's working with what he's got.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture. In Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Let me actually record this so that I can upload this onto YouTube later. Hey, how's it going? If you can hear this, my name is Boris, and I wanted to make something today. Oh, jeez. I'm already a little on edge because I woke up and I'm just feeling a little emotional. So I decided to play this game. And I hope you enjoy it. I love you guys.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't. It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
So if I were to give a guess right now as to the twist at the end, maybe the narrator is Coda. That's the best that I got.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond. and so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level. It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think.
Okay.
I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer. So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
Aww. There's so many of these. Whoa, holy shit. Can you guys hear me?
Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
The guy over there wrote, oh wow, that's really deep.
But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me, that I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
We're running out of space. Soon we will suffocate. Cavern. Do you feel like a hero yet? This game is no nice. I would like it when I could. Do not be afraid. You care. Oh my god. I just saw it flying penguin. Let me tell you, it's the most majestic thing I have ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see again if nothing will ever be beautiful again. I am crying now and planning on ripping my eyes out. I must now go do that. in grass concrete here. What the fuck? Balls. Oh, this place makes me sad. Everyone read this. I want to tell you a secret. Once upon a time, I did. I find fun. I'm king of the I'm sure you guarantee that there is an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. I refuse to believe. I need to go to the frickin' bathroom. Recognize me, please. It just gets like darker and darker. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Free t-shirt. Need other side. Door, why you so? Door out open. Open sesame. Makes game includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Someday I will meet the person who made this. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. New room. Do you hear the chimes? They keep going, don't they? I would like very much to be desired. Oh boy. Oh man. I'm scared of writing something. Don't want to be judged. It's not very crowded here. Welcome. Congratulations. I don't really know where to go with this. You can go in here, I think. A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. This is where I get off. I failed to write anything here. I am compelled. Stop, turn back. Proceeding further will only result in misery. Hello, hello. Man. Take my hand. Let's jump together. Cabbage shapes our nation. What is that painting? Yeah, what is that painting? It's crazy. It does not matter if you ever go over there. Hey, don't talk about me that way. Very good game. This is not going anywhere. Next time I will do better. I need someone to talk to. Aww. This is a note. Don't listen to the other notes. I'm not safe. Stop faking it. Oh, this is supposed to be like... Oh my god, this is like my worst nightmare. This is like everyone just like whispering, talking, judging, talking behind my back. Like, Like, this is actually, like, my worst nightmare. Today I learned you cannot fall off. Well, it's Dustin Theory. Ethical. Painting. What does it mean? Art. Here is spring. I think this is how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. Hey guys, how's it going? Just digging. Help. I am trying to speak. Whoever made this had issues. Well done, all of you. I saw a person walking down there. Now it won't come back. Who are all of you? We will all die someday. Cabbage shapes our nation. Spoilers. It doesn't mean anything. Stop pretending you are other people. Maybe I'll feel worse someday. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. More rooms.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
It's a way of finding closure. I mean, that's really what it is. Almost at the end. I've been here for literally an hour. What do I do? Make nice technical building. How do you solve it? Developer answers me.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture. Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Stars died too. Is that what I read? Oh, do you have to figure out how to escape?
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2. There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction. And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Oh, the lamppost.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself. I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Hello? Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself. And right miserable that would have been.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result. After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful. know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face. I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace. But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
But I was crying, though. Oh, it's the lamppost.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it. This one gets a bit goofy.
Yo.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts. And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Hello? Hello? Is that better? Hello? Hello? That's better. So, anyway, let me turn on these for a second. Oh gosh, so bright. So, what was I saying? This is a very emotional game called The Beginner's Guide that's only about an hour and a half long, and it tells the story of the emotional journey of what it's like as a game developer. And I wanted to get on here and I wanted to actually experience something. I wanted to actually feel something. So I've been playing it, and I already cried like 10 minutes ago. And yeah, that's really it. Question is not how we do it. How do we do it effortlessly? How do we do it with no effort? Oh. Someone's not relating. I'll tell you right now, if it isn't effortless, it's not the right answer. If you are torturing yourself trying to find the right solution for your life, you're not doing it right. Seek out the only thing that is the easiest, simplest path. Ew, I'm developing a cyst. Gross. You understand that you won't be happy until you want to be for you. Haha, just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? There isn't. I'm not a good teacher. Holy shit, you guys. Something is coming out of the back of the room. Look out. It wouldn't be easy to feel what it feel what it is.
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days. This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Stage. Oh, Jesus. At a gathering of professionals, first you'll start out leaning against this wall. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from them, to gain something, to succeed. Go on. Say something. Well, just start off by saying hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. Oh, Jesus. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here are all my hopes and dreams. I'm just gonna act as if this is actually me in this situation. So, in this situation, I would probably overshare. So I would say, here are all my hopes and dreams. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feeling of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you learned to lean into the pain. What are some of the sacrifices you've had to make? What are some of the sacrifices you've had to make? You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Let's try stepping back from the stage. Oh. Do I keep walking down here? The lamppost is here, but this doesn't feel like the end of the level. Okay, yes. Now this
The game
is where-
ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Okay, I'll trust it. Wait a minute. Oh, Jesus.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way. Alright, let me explain how you're supposed to do this. On either side of the room are elevators, which go up to an upper level. You have to go up, walk over to the person who's standing there, and then select dialogue option number 2.
Yeah, I did that. I literally just figured that out.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
It's draining me. Oh, I thought it was gonna be easy.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Hello, where am I? What is this? Where did this island come from? How do I get out of here? Hello? Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. I'm completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no. What happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me. To start it again. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't Star. What? You have to take me to it. I need to see it. To know why it stopped. I can do that.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, was just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Yeah. First you have to open the door.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash. Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Oh, Jesus, dude. Fucking A. You got this. You got this. Ma'am, glad to see you arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick, I intend to be quiet, I intend to be brutal. I intend to be brutal. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the mission. Call yourself Code. Oh, this feels like the final level. Imagining himself getting attention. Is that the machine?
And of course, it's the machine.
Those people out there friends. It falls on me to deliver bad news. I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me. We will destroy the machine. We will destroy everything that the machine has created. Oh, back on the stage. Oh. The gun. I'll make sure you are covered.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work? So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of. Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy, so beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look. And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze. And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on. The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011, I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for.
Yeah.
I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Holy shit.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
Dear Davey. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Fuck, man. What the fuck?
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you. You've so
And
infected my...
the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give? Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? Holy fuck, man.
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
And he showed these games to me. He made me play through them. He put me through this. I was very wrong about the deeper meaning behind this game, about the twist. I was very, very wrong. Man, this is how I feel about a lot of things in my life. Both from Davy's perspective and from Coda's. For a lot of different things. This isn't just about games. Like, a lot of this genuinely just speaks to who I am. Fuck, dude. When I am around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something that I cannot give you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me? Oh, Jesus, dude. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope one day it clicks, and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I am talking about, don't say anything. The deeper meaning behind this game is that it was way more about Davy than it ever was about Coda. That was the twist. It was all about the narrator the entire time. Everything. All of his emotions that he was pouring into his work, everything he was doing, it was saying something about the person watching. About the narrator. This was never about Coda in the first place. Or maybe it was, because he's also the other half of this equation. He also has something to say in his games. But don't try and change people for what they are. Don't try and self-impose and live vicariously through somebody else, especially through their work. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again, and I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay. More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
I fell into the trap too. I told the narrator that he did nothing wrong at the beginning of the tower game. If I was in this situation, I would also be part of the problem. I actually believed with what he said, because a deep part of me is Davey. I didn't realize. I simply didn't realize.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
I can't either. I can't either. I don't think a lot of people can. I actually just can't either. Just playing through.
What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Here goes nothing. Does it bring me? Brings me. What is this? This is where I just was. Right? And it's gonna... Yep. Oh my god. That was one of the greatest games I've ever played in my entire life. Yeah. Yeah, that was a life-changing game. And the end of the final game actually broke me as a person. It actually broke me. That is something I will not forget for a very, very long time. Let me see. I want to look at some of the reviews now. I understand this reference now. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, yeah. Dude, this game this game broke me. Like, oh, well, I have to read this review. Oh, Matt already owns this game? Oh.